Hi everyone, Russ here, and I'm excited to show you our Cambium cnMaestro configuration video. If you're looking for how to configure Hotspot 2.0, also referred to as Passpoint technology, this is the video you need to watch. We're going to jump in here and learn how to configure Hotspot 2.0, Passpoint, also called Wi-Fi roaming, onto your APs. So this is the video that's going to show you how to do that clearly and concisely. We're not going to go into every single setting here. There's a lot to cover. I'm really just going to cover the core functionality that's needed, meaning the core settings for how to get you up and running. So we're going to jump into cnMaestro. You see it up here on the screen. You're going to select your Wi-Fi profiles. You're going to have an AP group. We already have one here called WayFi Cellular Booster. Then within there, you're going to have your wireless LAN. So we're going to jump in and take a look at that. So we've got our WayFi Wireless Offload wireless LAN. So we got a standard name here for the SSID. It's going to be our standard SSID, which starts with a period. All you people out there know that when you put a period in front of your Wi-Fi SSID, that means that it's preferred on most devices. That's why we put it in there. Also, when they see it before, they tend to prefer to connect to it again. That's why we use it. Now, you can, of course, change it, customize it to your business or for the naming convention that you like to use. No mesh. We put this on VLAN 1. You can put it on any VLAN you like. We recommend WPA2 Enterprise. Why? Because that's going to work with the most devices that are out there. I've got 2.4, 5, and 6. Client isolation. I've got local. We don't really want them talking to each other because this is basically a guest network. And this is going to be cnMaestro-managed roaming. For advanced settings, I've got 250 clients here. A little bit on the high end. That may depend on what piece of hardware that you're using. You may want to dial that down a little bit, but again, that's up to you. By here, that's our standard default. VLAN pooling is disabled. You can enable it if you like. Standard session timeout and activity timeout of 180 seconds. Drop multicast, UAPSD, so that's your power saving. That's turned on, as well as QBSS. DTIM intervals 3, that's mostly for all of our Apple devices out there. That's what they like to see. Past that, we got proxy ARP enabled, unicast DHCP enabled, fast roaming enabled, works pretty well on Cambiums. RRM enabled, AO211K, AO211V, BSS transition management configured as well. For protected management frames, we're going to make that mandatory. Works pretty well here. As you know, on some of the other vendors, we don't make that mandatory because it doesn't have the best implementation. Here, it's pretty good. All right, that's going to be your wireless LAN configuration. Congratulations. Now on to the next section. We're going to jump into our AAA servers. All right, so what you see here may differ from your configuration. That is okay. That is normal. Let's jump into this. So first, we're going to have our host IP addresses. This is what we've got here as examples. Now, what you have may be different. That's okay. Secret, we'll give you that as well. We're going to use our standard ports here for authentication servers, 1812. Again, this may vary. Refer to your onboarding engineer for their instructions that are on there. 3 attempts, 30-second timeout. We do need to have accounting servers enabled. Usually, they're going to be the same IPs. Use your secret from your onboarding engineer, and then your port is going to be just one higher than your authentication port. 30-second timeout, 3 attempts. For accounting mode, we're not using the default here. We're using start, interim, stop. Make sure you don't use the default. Accounting packet, make sure that's enabled. Sync accounting records, make sure that's enabled. And we're going to have an update interview of 300 seconds. Make sure that's enabled as well. For our server pool mode, we recommend failover instead of load balance. That's more stable in our opinion. NAS identifier, custom here. Again, refer to your onboarding engineer. We have kind of here a standard demo NAS ID. That's not what we use in production, but it's a good example to get you started. We do want to use dynamic authorization. Make sure you do not check dynamic VLAN. Then for your called station ID, your standard AP MAC SSID. All right, good job. We're getting through here. Guest access. There's not too much here that's going to be interesting, but I just showing these settings for example. These really don't affect us too much. We're going to jump down to access control. Nothing here to see. It's going to be standard settings. Now, getting into kind of the meat and potatoes of our configuration, basic settings. So in basic settings, we're going to, of course, enable Passpoint Release 2. That's the most modern one that we have out here. We're going to enable downstream group address forwarding. Make sure that's turned on. We're going to have an ANQP domain ID of 0, come back delay of 0. Important here, access network type, make that chargeable public. Do not check ASIR. RA, but do check internet. We want to make sure that we're telling devices, hey, you're going to get internet access because that's what we want to do. That's part of the point of Wi-Fi roaming. HESSID, it's going to be all Fs, pretty standard config. Venue group business, venue type unspecified business. For our RCOIs, we're going to have our standard onboarding RCOIs here. The list is here. I'm not going to go through every one. These are on our general guide. And of course, always refer to your onboarding engineer for any changes or updates. For our ANQP, this is going to be your MCC MNCs, so your country codes, your network codes for carriers. This is our public list. We do have a private list that is a little bit longer. Refer to your onboarding engineer's instructions. Extra capability blank. Domain names. This is our standard domain name list. Not going to go through each one. This will get you up and running. This enables some of the extended carriers and MVNOs that are out there. NAI list, go ahead, go past it. Operator friendly name, just make sure it's English, and then WayFi Wireless, pretty straightforward. For IPv4 type, most common is port restricted single NAT. IPv6 type, put that in as not available. Network authentication, none. OCI, keep that blank. Venue name information, just put English, and for venue name, just use WayFi. Now, WAN metrics. Your link status is going to be up. Your downlink load is going to be 0. Now, important here, Cambium is a little different from some of the other OEMs. Downlink speed is in kilobits per second, not megabits. So you're going to have to make it quite a bit larger. That's why these look a little bigger than some of the other configuration videos. Load duration is 300. Uplink load is 0. Input on your appropriate uplink speed. Do not check at capacity. Do check symmetric link if that makes sense for your install. EPSK, nothing to write home about. Is going to be just standard config. And that's it. That's how you configure cnMaestro for your Cambium APs. This has been a pleasure showing you how to get this configured. Make it easy, make it simple, make it WayFi. And I'll see you in the next video.